Yeah, I got to help with that. You jump on, you get him in, and then work in.
Well, pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Jeff Viva, Sports Information Director at Kelvin University, sitting courtside at Bernard Arena. Getting set to bring you today's MIAA women's basketball game between the Bells at St. Mary's and the Knights at Kelvin University. This pregame show presented by Holland Home, a new proud sponsor of our Kelvin men's and women's basketball broadcast here. And speaking a little bit about Holland Home, we are appreciative of having them as one of our new lead sponsors. Should be a good game here today. The first matchup was a real good one. That was pre-Christmas, and Kelvin down in Notre Dame, Indiana, held off St. Mary's on the road 61-57. The Knights had kind of a full complement of players at the time. Have since lost Hannah Saul to a season-ending injury, and it looks like Jamie Custer is going to be out for the night. She's in street clothes for today, so that'll mean Kelvin's continued rotation of players needing to step up. It might mean more minutes for a Gabby Hallowell or an Emma Whitty, but they are both very capable, so we'll see what happens. Kelvin coming in, riding the momentum of a big win at Olivet the other night. Got back on the winning track after some really tough defeats. Kelvin defeating the Comets 82-41 on Wednesday night. They had lost to Hope in overtime a week ago today. Lost to Trine a week and a half ago. Very tight game, 46-40, a game Kelvin led for a big chunk. And the Knights also had fallen previous to that at Albion 55-52 in a game that went right down to the wire. Albion, kind of a surprise story in the league right now. They upset Hope in overtime on Wednesday night. So the Britons have kind of moved up into the MIAA women's basketball standings. They sit at 7-3, third place. Kelvin at 5-5, trying to hold on at least to that number 4 spot, which would give them a home court game for the first round of the MIAA tournament. St. Mary's comes in 7-12 overall, 2-8 in the MIAA. They are in 8th, currently holding on to the final MIAA tournament spot right now at the number 8 spot. And I'm joined by Jason Fossey, our fine, I guess, what do we call you? The director of facilities, jack of all trades, all that type of thing?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I am officially the director of club sports and facility coordinator for athletics here at Calvin University.
Well, great to be doing another game here with you, Jason. And you've seen this women's basketball team quite a bit. And, you know, they've had to kind of ride the roller coaster of injuries this year, but you know they're kind of used to it at this point. So adapting on the fly is something that they'll have to do today, don't you think?
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs for this Coach Christner's squad. Big leads in certain games that have dwindled. A lot of close ones at the end. I'm not sure if you touched on any of those matchups with Trine and with Hope. Some heartbreakers there in the ending minutes of those games. But a good bounce back the other day against the University of Olivet. A good team effort, smothering defense as we've become accustomed to seeing from Coach Christner's squad. And they were able to put the ball in the bucket quite a bit on the offensive side of things. Anna Fernandez led the team with scoring 22 points, 9 of 16 shooting. Caitlin LaRue with 14 points in that matchup. And Ryan Rohrer had double digits as well, scoring 10 in that matchup against the Comets.
Well, this St. Mary's team is led by head coach Rob Hoffman, who was a longtime lead assistant at Trine University. He was part of that staff that helped try and get to the women's basketball Final Four in 2022. And I believe this is his second year as head coach at St. Mary's. And they will play a very aggressive defense. In the first meeting, a lot of full court pressure on Kelvin, a lot of ball pressure, even in the half court. So that'll be something that Kelvin will have to handle. It'll be a fair amount of responsibility heaped on the ball handlers, notably Chloe Wiggers and Anna Fernandez, Gabby Hallowell, among others, Sammy DeKuyper, maybe Emma Whitty. So that'll be something to watch, right, Jason?
Yeah. I think Coach Rob Hoffman's going to be out there. He's going to be vocal. He's going to be trying to kind of identify what the Knights are going to be doing offensively, and his team is going to play aggressive. So seeing how our offensive players can respond, if they can stay in their system, if they can play with the pace that Coach Christner likes to see out there, and kind of control that pace throughout the matchup, is going to be key for his team to have success early on. And then just staying consistent throughout that. He's going to play a lot of different players. Some of the freshmen have been getting increasing minutes as this conference season has gone on. They're feeling more comfortable out there on the court. So expect to see a lot of those, maybe role players kind of get some action early on in the first half.
Looking at the stats here, of course, Anna Fernandez, the leading scorer for Kelvin, overall averaging 15.3 points a game. In conference games, she is third in the MIAA in scoring average. Ryan Rohrer, who's had a nice season, kind of getting comfortable after missing last year with an injury. She's averaging 11.9 points and a team leading 8 rebounds a game. And then Caitlin LaRue at 8.3 points a game for the Knights. Those are their top 3 scorers. For St. Mary's, you've got the sisters, Katie and Annie Restovich.
Yeah, 2 juniors. I believe they're twins.
Yeah, so Katie Restovich. I'm going to have to say Katie and Annie, making sure I delineate them during the broadcast. But Katie leading the team at 12.5 points a game. Annie Restovich at 10.2 points a game. Also, Ella Nataro, 10.2 points a game. Hannah Outlaw at 9.6 points per contest.
Yeah, a lot of offense from those 4 players, almost 4 players in double digits, with the last one at 9.6 in Hannah Outlaw. But this team also has some depth that they have kind of grown throughout this season. Some players at the bottom of their lineup getting more minutes. Maybe a Kate Passanaut, Ella Andre kind of getting those first half minutes and leading into good possessions for that team. We'll see how they kind of utilize their substitutions throughout this matchup as well, to see if they can relieve those 4 key scorers in times of need to get them the breath that they need in order to be effective on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Well, we're starting to move into the heart of this second half of the MIAA's double round robin schedule. So this, again, is where you're going to make or break your placement in the league standings, and you have to find a way to grind your way to get a win to move on up, or at least at the very least hold your standing so that you get in position for the conference tournament. A year ago, Kelvin ended up kind of getting stuck in a situation where, they lost a game in February at Adrian. I think they were sitting at 12-11 or so, and then just ripped off a really nice win streak. I think it was 6 or 7 games. Won a first-round MIAA tournament home game, then went down to Trine and won back-to-back games down there to win the conference tournament. So, you just have to find a rhythm late in the year if you're trying to peak at the right time.
It's all about getting hot at the right time and playing together at the right time, believing in each other. I think Coach Christner is understands that this team has the capability to go on a similar run as last year's squad did. They have the pieces in place. They've played well at times to be the best team in the conference, and they've had some moments where they've not shown that they're capable of stepping up to that challenge. But we'll see how they do here tonight as we turn it over to our PA announcer for this evening, Dan Spoolma, for the national anthem and the starting lineups.
Well, this broadcast and pregame show brought to you in part by Highland Home. Since 1892, Highland Home has been providing vibrant, independent living, compassionate assisted living, excellent skilled nursing, and person-centered dementia care. Highland Home is proud to offer 3 unique communities designed to help older adults live fully and vibrantly, whether at Bretton Woods, Raybrick, or their newest community coming soon, the Everden in Ada. You'll find welcoming spaces, thoughtful amenities, and opportunities to nurture friendships, old and new. Just a moment, we'll be going over to PA announcer Dan Spoolma to meet tonight's starting lineups, powered by Garrett's Appliances, offering the latest lineup at the top appliance brands at very competitive prices. That's a Garrett's Appliance with locations in Wyoming and Kentwood. All right, let's turn it over to PA announcer Dan Spoolma.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise or remain standing. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. To honor America and those who protect our freedom at home and abroad, please sing along with the playing of our national anthem. Good afternoon and welcome to Van Ord Arena for today's conference game between the Bells from St. Mary's College and your Calvin University Knights. Let's take a moment to meet today's starting lineups. First for St. Mary's, starting at guard, she's a 5'7" junior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 2, Kate Restovich. Starting at forward for the Knights, she's a 6'2" junior from Grand Rapids, number 25, Lydia Saul. Starting at guard for the Bells, wearing number 4, she's a 5'5" freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Liv Fry. For the Knights, at forward, a 5'10" junior from Ludington, number 34, Ryan Rohr. For St. Mary's, starting at guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Grand Rapids, number 5, Kate Passenalt. For the Knights, at guard, a 5'8" junior from Lake Orion, number 12, Chloe Wiegers. For St. Mary's, starting at guard, a sophomore, 5'8" from Crystal Lake, Illinois, number 11, Ella Notaro. Starting at guard for the Knights, a 5'10" junior from Grand Rapids, number 23, Caitlin LaRue. And at guard for St. Mary's, a 5'7" junior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 14, Annie Restovich. And for the Knights at guard, a 5'8" senior from Plymouth, number 13, Anna Fernandez. Head coach for St. Mary's is Rob Hoffman, and the head coach for the Knights is Mark Christner.
All right, that's today's starting lineups, powered by Garrett's Appliance, offering the latest lineup at the top appliance brands at very competitive prices. That's Garrett's Appliance, with locations in Wyoming and Kentwood. Getting set for the tip-off here. Early tip time, 1 o'clock. Can't say I don't mind the early start time. Kind of gets your day underway and gives you a little bit more afternoon to play with, in my opinion.
Not at all bad for a 1 o'clock matchup here today, especially after a long week here in Calvin Athletics.
Yeah.
Started off on Wednesday with men's basketball taking on the University of Olivet. Yep. That was an unfortunate 82-71 loss, I believe. Somewhere around that.
Yeah.
High-scoring matchup. And then home men's volleyball on Thursday and Friday. And here we are now for the tip of this one. Knights win the tip.
And yeah, they win the tip off the jump, and Uyghurs at the control. And again, they're, like I said, Jason, that aggressive man-to-man pressure defense. LaRue goes to the hole, will miss it, but Lydia saw the board, throws it away, and stolen by Katie Restovich, and she's got the ball.
Yeah, I thought she had something there, and then just kind of gave it away to the defender. Didn't have to make that pass. Could have kind of went back up with it. And here's a turnover now on the other end.
And you're going to see that full court pressure by St. Mary's, just like we saw back in December. I think Coach Hoffman wants the Knights to prove that they can handle it. And it also will chip away at that shot clock as well.
Matched up person to person defensively are the Bells.
Caitlin LaRue, right wing, picks up her dribble. Knights need to cut to the basketball, and Fernandez bails her out there, but 10 on the shot clock. Gonna drive to the basket. Step back, good.
Anna Fernandez.
Coach Hoffman wanted to push off there, not gonna get it. Had a quiet conversation with the officials early on here in this matchup.
2-0 early. Katie Restovich, or Kate Restovich, right wing.
I think it's Katie or Kate. I think we could be
Either way. Well, another turnover by the Bells. That was Liv Frag trying the high-low feed. And threw it a little high there on the cutter, going baseline. Again, that full court pressure, and the Knights break it. Good catch and collection by Chloe Uyghurs. Pass into the post. Lydia Saul goes up, got her shot blocked, and then came down with the ball called for the travel. Good call, I think, by the official.
Yeah, not held long enough. It wasn't pinned long enough for that jump ball.
Yep.
So I think they got it right there. 2-0 early on here in this one. A couple turnovers by the Bells. We'll see if they can get it going offensively. Hassanot.
Cut to the basket there, and Kate Restovich found the long arms of Lydia Saul, who's been playing more minutes after Sister Hannah going down with that injury back in early January. Inbounds play, Rohr poked it away, and coming up with it is Uyghurs. She's got to get rid of the ball or it's going to be a travel, and Rohr will get the handoff and bring it up the floor. And she got bumped and fouled. It's on Kate Restovich.
Yeah, Nutoro caught that ball clean on the entry pass there. The Knights were just able to get a hand in there defensively. 3 turnovers forced now by, I think 2 unforced a little bit, but that one there definitely forced by the Knights.
Pass inside, Rohr, double teamed. Flips it back out to Uyghurs. LaRue had to catch a tight pass. Now it's Rohr backing her way in the lane, no. Battle for the board, Fernandez has it. Trying to split a couple of Bells there to grab it. Pass inside to Rohr. Little step through move, lefty layup, good.
Good job by Ryan that time, getting all the way to the basket there. Missed an easy one early on, but good offensive board by Fernandez. Averages about 5 a game, so she'll do that. And here's Fernandez now the other way in transition.
Yeah, another turnover by the Bells. Here's Calvin the other way. Uyghurs to Rohr. Dribble handoff to LaRue. She's going to cut to the basket. Fadeaway going to be blocked by Passana. And the Bells with the board. Here they come. Knights get back on D. Liv Fry will swing it left to Annie Restovich, and a long three from the wing, no, off the mark, and Rohr comes down with the loose ball. That was Kate Restovich with that shot. Rohr trying to go all the way to the basket, kicks it to LaRue, a three off the mark, and rebounded by Passanaw again. Loose ball in the middle, and Rohr, boy, the Bells just coughing it up left and right now. 4-0 Kelvin. And a little bit of a sloppy start to this game. Fernandez, a three from the wing, good, off the feed from Wiegers, who will get the assist.
Kelvin definitely controlling the pace of this matchup so far, despite the pressure offensively or defensively full court from the Bells. They've not really been able to get anything out of that, and it's kind of led to some transition baskets for the Knights.
Well, when you get Fernandez going early, that's always a good sign. Making her first 2 shots of the game. 8 on the shot clock. Handoff. Now Passanaw going right block, goes up. Boy, a lot of contact, no foul. And the ball is short on the jump shot, comes down to LaRue. Knights trying to press all the way to the basket. Scoop, and a little deep and strong off the board. Here comes St. Mary's the other way. Liv Fry.
Letting him play here a little bit until now.
Yeah, Lydia Saul hip checked her a little bit, so Fry will go to the line for a pair.
On 25, Lydia Saul, that's her first, team first.
Got some substitutions. Ashley Reardon, Gabby Hallowell for the Knights coming on.
Hannah Outlaw, and it looked like, is that Ella Andre?
It is, yeah, out of Spring Lake. Outlaw has been a solid addition
2 free throws
to this St. Mary's team.
Yeah, a lot of production from her off the bench. 9.6 points off the bench.
Did a nice job in meeting number 1 back in December. Was a real threat for them. First free throw was good by Fry and missed the second. Rohr with a board. So Fernandez will break the timeline there. Still the man-to-man defense. Oh, almost lost the ball there. The Knights, Hallowell retrieves.
Able to get it over to Rohr now, looking to...
Well, and a little bit of a mistimed feed there by Rohr, so a turnover by the Knights, and here comes St. Mary's the other way.
Trying to feed it in there down low to Fernandez.
Boy, that might have been a walk. Lefty floater, though, is up and in by Liv Fry, so she's got all 3 of St. Mary's points early on. It's that token man-to-man full court press by St. Mary's. Wiegers breaks it, and she's going to go all the way to the basket. Lefty layup, good.
Working on Fry there. I think Fry was burned on the offensive end on that last basket there. You know, just kind of had to do a lot of dribbling, had to do a lot of moving, and then had to guard her person coast to coast. And
another loose turnover there by the Bells. That was Ella Andre, who just kind of lost track of it, and the Knights in transition. 3 by Hallowell is good, and it's 12-3.
Good hands on that last time down by Ashley Reardon. Get a hand in on that.
Knights are doing a good job in transition, getting openings and cashing in that secondary break. St. Mary's been a little loose in getting back into the paint off the pressure defense. And we're going to have a reach, I think, on Wiegers. Let's see if it's Wiegers or Reardon. That'll be on Wiegers, so she'll get the foul. At the 4:21 mark, we'll have our media timeout here. And Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you. We've got our Skipper Osterink Student Athlete of the Week profile. So what do we have here?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Fans, today's featured Calvin's women's basketball planning for success honoree is a senior, Sammy DeKuyper. Sammy is in her 4th year with the Calvin women's basketball team, holding down a spot as one of Calvin's point guards. Sammy's been on the Dean's List and majors in kinesiology. And that's today's Planning for Success feature, presented to you by Skipper and Osterink Wealth Management, providing financial solutions and services to help you plan for the success of the future.
Well, also in today's game, we'll be watching for the Visser Brothers teamwork of the game. Key play, a play that Calvin has planned, managed, and executed correctly. That'll be the Visser Brothers teamwork of the game. Play the game presented by Visser Brothers General Contractors, where a team of dedicated project professionals knows how to maintain your construction process on schedule and on budget. Early stats, what do we have here, Jason?
Well, I think just to touch on that teamwork emphasis, I think defensively, right, we're closing a lot of gaps. A lot of turnovers created by the Knights. I'm not sure how many so far, but they're closing those gaps. They're doing well communicating. I think it's a testament to the preparation. Coach Christer's kind of got them, kind of getting that communication as the key focus of that defensive unit. You see them on switches, getting back, watching out for one another. And until that last kind of, we had Chloe Wiegers get in there a little bit late on that situation, but I think their teamwork has been spectacular thus far at creating those turnovers.
We're going to have a foul underneath. Might be Hallowell who will get charged for the reach.
It's going to be on Reardon.
Foul called on Calvin.
Well, 6 turnovers for St. Mary's, just looking at the stats that got handed to us. Knights are 5 of 10 from the floor. St. Mary's 1 of 4. When you turn it over, you don't get shots off. It's as simple as that. Outlaw got that ball right there.
Halfway through, and they've only gotten 4 field goal attempts. That's not bad for your defense as Hallowell gets a hand in. Shot clock down to 8 now.
3 on the shot clock.
Restovich over to Andre, who works in.
Yeah, she'll get it off, but no rim, so it'll be a shot clock violation. Goes in the stats as a missed shot and a dead ball board, so not a turnover. It does allow St. Mary's to set up the full court press. They'll kind of back away. So go ahead.
Here's Wiegers now setting the offense.
Yeah, 12-3. Late first quarter. Fernandez being hawked aggressively, picked up her dribble, finds Reardon right corner. Reardon on the drive, spin, turn around and out. But Fernandez is there. Oh, and a bunny missed it. Almost too open.
Too eager there. She saw it before it got into her hands. It just kind of went too much off the glass there.
So Outlaw gets the handoff from Kate Restovich. Kate Restovich, a 3 from the corner. No, off the mark. St. Mary's unable to get untracked from the field right now. And another missed shot and rebounded by Hallowell. She'll bring it into the front court. LaRue, wide open 3 on the break. Going to be a little deep. Reardon with the offensive board, though. Kind of got that second hop. Hallowell, a 3. Just off the mark. Fernandez is there, got the board. Layup is good, and she's got 7.
Same spot as she missed that last one from. A little different shot, fading away from the basket that time, but she was sure to hit it on the right spot on the glass that time.
So Knights really racking up those offensive boards and second chance points. Here is a pull-up, going to be off the mark, and Wiegers got run over. Let's see what the foul is. Well, they're maybe going to call it on Wiegers.
Awkward foul there. Wiegers
got tangled up, and they're going to talk about it.
Trying to stay straight up.
I think it's going to go against St. Mary's here. It'll be on Kate Restovich. That'd be her second.
Call on number 2.
Kind of did a little bit of a pile drive forward, and Wiegers kind of got locked into her.
Yeah, I think she got tangled up. The official noticed that and called the foul there on. That was on Kate Restovich.
So substitutions for both sides. I know in for St. Mary's for the first time, Alyssa Matuza is in. Also Sammy DeKuyper in for Kelvin. Also see Nicole Connolly in for St. Mary's. Emma Whitty in for Kelvin, and she just traveled with the basketball.
2 seniors for Kelvin, Whitty and DeKuyper.
Brian Rohr back on for the Knights. 14-3. Liv Fry has the ball, hands it off to Ella Andre.
Liv Fry with all 3 points yet at this point for the Bells. Here's Fry working on Whitty.
And what are we going to have here? 3 seconds on Outlaw in the lane. Yeah, St. Mary's half-court offense really out of sync. Give some credit to Kelvin's defense for that. But they are struggling to get any kind of penetration into the post. And now we're going to have a hand check call. Foul on Liv Fry.
That's her first.
Knights are just 1 away from getting into the bonus here in the first quarter. That's the 4th foul of the team variety on St. Mary's. LaRue blowing by the defender. Baseline jumper. Reardon, it rolls around and in. 16-3 Kelvin. Another one of those fast starts. Calvin here at Vennord Arena the last few games have had strong first quarters. Last Saturday against Hope, and of course the game before that against Trine. Actually, we're up 20-1 on Trine before eventually losing 46-40.
And yeah, and to that point, Jeff, I think you wouldn't see Calvin, kind of flinch here in this second half coming out or throughout this quarter. They're going to keep the pressure on. They're going to continue to try to control this pace as LaRue gets it up to Raridan.
Had a block shot a moment ago by LaRue, got the defensive board as well. So here's Calvin into the front court. Rohr spinning, right-handed floater, no, and Outlaw with a board. Trying to keep her dribble, did it. A nice job to avoid the travel.
And now Coach Hoffman is a little irritated with the officiating here in this one. Wants that call. I think Rohr might have had a over the back.
Well, there's an outside shot for the first time for St. Mary's. A three from the left wing. Ella Andre,
product of Spring Lake. She's a former soccer athlete for the Bells.
A Laker. Saw her play in high school. They're in the same conference.
Yeah, I believe there's
my kids, Hudsonville Unity Christian.
2024 Women's Soccer State Championship.
They were. Division II, I believe. A missed jump shot by the Knights, and then St. Mary's turns it over the other way. So got to be real close to double digits in turnovers for St. Mary's right now. 16-6. Calvin's going to play for one here at the end of the first quarter.
Here's the Kuiper getting it going with 10 on the clock.
Going to swing it over to Whitty. Into the lane, and shot blocked. Outlaw there. Here's Rohr, got time. Floater in, up and in. Off the glass.
I think that's how they drew it up.
I like it. 18-6. So at the end of the first quarter, the Knights in control. Hey, in today's game, we'll be looking for our Energizing the Knights player who gives Calvin a key lift in the game. It'll be brought to you by Pliables, located at Knapp's Corner in Grand Rapids, using the freshest, highest quality ingredients. Pliables serves healthy, delicious acai, pitaya, coconut bowls, and smoothies. Your morning booster and your lunch break dream. Pliables at Knapp's Corner, located about 4 miles north up the Beltline from the Calvin campus. You ever been to Pliables?
I have not, but I know that all of our athletes love the acai bowls that they serve at Pliables. I think it's one of the top venues for a lot of our teams. I know our women's volleyball team is onto the acai kick, as well as some of our other teams here.
They probably do the takeout orders, I would guess, so they can eat it on the go. So Pliables providing energy for Calvin Knights athletes. Also, today's first half brought to you by Skipper Nostring Wealth Management, partnering with you to help unlock your financial potential and build your legacy. Jason, any stats that jump out to you?
You know, I think 2 of 10 shooting by the Bells, kind of just the fact that they doubled the amount of shots that they were able to get up. The Knights are 8 of 20. I think just that smothering defense, the communication, closing those gaps, and then controlling the pace offensively, being able to get offensive rebounds. I think our guards are doing a fantastic job of getting boards in this one, and our post players are doing a good job of sealing their defender on those plays. So good team effort so far in the first quarter by the Knights. And St. Mary's will get the ball to start this second quarter.
One game also going on in the MIAA. Trine leading Elma 15-3 right now. Here's a three from the wing again, and it's good. And again, it's Ella Andre, her second triple. So keeping St. Mary's within striking distance makes it 18-9, a single-digit deficit now.
Andre with 6 now.
Yeah, providing a bit of a lifeline for the Bells. Staying in contact.
Andre and Fry, the only 2 offensive threats thus far for the Knights, as the Kuiper launches one from the corner, no good.
Yeah, checking in for Kelvin, Lily Nitz getting a little bit of playing time here with Jamie Custer unable to go today. Nitz having a chance to play.
Yeah, Nitz, a freshman from Caledonia High School, has seen a lot of action thus far early on in the MIAA season.
Passing the post, stolen away by the Knights, and here they come. And speaking of Nitz, there she is with the ball. Former South Christian Sailor. Emma Whitty, right baseline, to Nitz, got an open three. It's up there, going to be a little short, and rebounded by Passanaw of St. Mary's.
And that's a shot that Nitz has to continue to have confidence in. I heard some of the teammates talking to her after shoot-around today and kind of said, this is your opportunity. So I think her team is going to be behind her to instill that confidence.
Well, there's a pick and roll pass to Passanaw, a little too soft, and another turnover for St. Mary's. Kelvin gets the loose ball. LaRue in transition again, and it's good, a three. St. Mary's, Jason, really struggling in the transition game, and the Knights reaping the rewards of those opportunities.
And I think it might be their own doing. I think this might be a time to call off that press, maybe find a better fit. You know, I think the Knights are going to keep continuing to shoot that kick out three, and if our shooters remain hot, it might be a long night. And here's Nitz with the deflection on the way back the other end in transition.
Got in the way of that pass by Passanaw, and the Knights pick it off.
Thought about it there, did LaRue.
Lydia saw a little hook shot, going to be a little strong, rebounded by Passanaw. Now here comes St. Mary's, Liv Fry, 1-on-2. Just going to pull the dribble back out.
And Calvin has missed a lot from inside, so I think this could be a little bit even more out of hand than it is now if the Knights make some of those easy buckets that they've missed.
Well, here is a fast break opportunity for Kelvin. It's going to stay right here after the missed shot by Passanaw. We've got a bunch of substitutions for the Knights. You got Fernandez and Wiegers back into the game. For St. Mary's, I see Annie Restovich just came back on.
Ella Naturo is on the court as well.
And I think there's one other sub. It might be Kate Restovich that just came back in.
So Andre has a seat.
A three from the left side, no by Fernandez.
Fry now in transition, working on Wiegers.
Ball skimming around the perimeter right now. Knights doing a good job of packing the paint. Just really very little penetration by St. Mary's inside. And Saul went for the swat and got called for the foul on Ella Nataro. Sometimes, Jason, when you go with the aggressive swat, you might get a lot of ball, but when you go downward with the block attempt, they're going to get you with the foul call.
Yeah, I know our coaching staff is always preaching to go straight up, remain straight up. And I think that time Lydia Saul kind of did have that hand come through, regardless if she got all ball. The ref saw it a different angle.
Had an old junior high basketball coach, Larry Clausen, coach Jim Timmer, our director of athletics as well, and Kelvin alum himself, Larry Clausen, Coach Clausen, and he would always say, you know, if you swat down, they're going to get you almost every time on a foul. And he was not lying on that. I've seen that firsthand down through the years.
Naturo sinks the pair.
So 21-11, 6:45 to go, second quarter. Half court situation now for Kelvin. A little bit of a zone look here for the Bells.
Not a bad idea. They are guarding that perimeter in this zone, so I think they're trying to force the Knights' hand to get that ball inside and score from the paint.
Well, LaRue drove the lane and got fouled. Coach Hoffman wanted to travel. He didn't think that the two-footed jump stop was legal. Nonetheless, LaRue at the line. Free throw good.
One of the more fundamental players on the team is Caitlin LaRue.
Yep.
I think I've seen her jump stop quite a few times, and she lands on two pretty decently, I think.
Second one up and in, so she sinks a pair. She's got 5 points. Outlaw back in.
Outlaw along with Gabby Halliwell for the Knights.
It's bringing the ball up the floor is Liv Fry. And Outlaw now top of the key. 23-11 and a steal. Kind of a cough up there by Outlaw, and Rohr gets the loose change. Here is Wiggers getting a high screen from Rohr into the lane. Kicks it left side. LaRue. Ball swinging around the perimeter. A three from the corner. Going to be short by Halliwell. Great offensive board by Wiggers, but her pass a little too tight, and the Bells steal it. and come the other way.
Little miscommunication there. I think Fernandez was cutting and Wiegers did not realize that. Bounced it to her between her legs.
Well, offensive board for St. Mary's, one of the few we've seen in this game, and a block by Rohr all over the layup attempt by Annie Restovich. Here's LaRue in transition, up, no, but a foul.
Foul is going to be on the ground.
Very clear with the intentions, it seems, from the Kelvin side when they get the ball off a board to push the pace and try to get points in transition. They're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, I think there's 4 or 5 girls on the court at each time that if they get a board and they have a clear lane to the basket, their mission is to get to the rack. And I think they've done a good job thus far of doing that. Just some miss bunnies in this one that could have this one a little bit further out of control. Good shot there by Rohr off the glass.
Yeah, Reardon found her. And, Rohr's been getting that rhythm back that she was, she was a little rusty at the start of the year after having not played in more than a season. And now finding that scoring touch and that little left-handed floater gives her, let's see, what does she have on the day? 6 points. So doing a good job inside, 25-11.
Yeah, had a good second half against Olivet. Kind of a quiet first half, but came out in that second half, hit a couple 15-footers back-to-back, I think, and kind of got herself going. Ended up with 10 in that one.
Another steal. Boy, it is a slippery pill out there for St. Mary's. Just slipped through the hands, and Kelvin picks it up, and again in transition, firing it up right away. Rohr with the offensive board, muscled it up and in.
Left hand again from Rohr. She's good from either side. Forces the hand of Coach Hoffman. He'll take a timeout.
27-11 Kelvin, and this will become a full media timeout off the called timeout by St. Mary's. Today's broadcast brought to you by Holland Home. Since 1892, Holland Home has been providing vibrant, independent living, compassionate assisted living, excellent skilled nursing, and person-centered dementia care. Holland Home is proud to offer 3 unique communities designed to help older adults live fully and vibrantly. Whether at Bretton Woods, Raybrick, or their newest community coming soon, the Aberdeen in Ada, you'll find welcoming spaces, thoughtful amenities, and opportunities to nurture friendships old and new. Also today, we'll be watching for our Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Straight Line Fence. That'll be today's Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Straight Line Fence, transforming properties across Michigan, crafting fences that provide sanctuary, security, and self-expression, committed to care, craftsmanship. Straight Line Fence has earned a reputation as Michigan's most trusted fence installer. Call Straight Line Fence today. Start building something beautiful. Also, fans, Inside Kelvin basketball is returning for its second season beginning next Monday, this coming Monday, February 2. Join us at Big East Sports Grill on the East Beltline at 6:30 p.m. each Monday in February to get the scoop on Kelvin hoops from Bill Saul and his players. I'll also be talking about Kelvin women's hoops and head coach Mark Christener. The show will air live on 96.1 The Game. Come out to Big E's and hang out with Kelvin fans for fun basketball talk and delicious menu items, including the $10 burger and drink specials. That's Inside Kelvin basketball, Monday nights in February at Big E's, just down the road. You been to Big E's, Jason?
We have been to Big E's. My wife and I will take advantage of the closeness of that location for lunch often during the workday.
Yeah, they got good food, good drinks, and the proximity is great to Kelvin. Here is a post-up and a good layup by Natoro. So out of the timeout, St. Mary's converts 27-13.
Good, always good to get points off of the called timeout. Credit to Coach Hoffman for drawing up something good there.
Hallowell drives to the basket and scores. A little too easy there for Kelvin. If you're looking at it from a St. Mary's side, and boy, the Knights got to be, I got to look up the stats. They got to be shooting around 50% or more right now from the field. A missed shot by the Bells. That was Ella Andre aboard to Rohr. Brings it up the floor. Fernandez again in transition, a three from the corner, no, but Rohr got the board, got sandwiched a bit, lost the ball, and St. Mary's comes up with it.
Rohr's all over the boards tonight. I think she has 4 steals as well. So there's an early front runner for that defensive player of the game. We'll keep an eye on that for later on.
Might be a front runner for a number of those post-game awards. I think there's 4 of them that we have to dole out there.
And she'll take a seat now, replaced by Caitlin LaRue.
Got Coach Christner asking why Rohrer wasn't awarded a foul on that last play.
I don't think he's going to be out anything in this game. I think on the other side, he's not going to let the other coach kind of get in those officials' ears.
Correct.
It's the
sometimes
game,
that game within the game.
Within the game, Jeff,
Yeah.
and I think Coach Christner sees that, and he's not going to let Coach Hoffman get that advantage on his team going into this second half with a comfortable lead. He doesn't want them to be able to cut it to within 10, because as much of control as the Knights are in this one, there's still opportunities for that to happen, and they get the call and the bucket here. Well, that's Fry.
Yeah, one of the few times that St. Mary's has gotten into the lane and converted, and Liv Fry drew the foul on Hallowell, and she'll go to the line for 1. 29-15, 2:59 left in the first half here at Bernard Arena. Free throw up and in, so the old-fashioned three-point play is complete by Liv Fry.
So Bell's kept this one close, a 13-point game now.
Again, that token full court pressure, and then they call it off as the Knights get it inbound.
Reardon hits the floor there, not sure what happened there.
There's a three by Fernandez. Stepped into that one nicely. And she's got 10 points, 32-16. Calvin up 16. Ooh, almost a steal by LaRue there. Kind of a lax pass by
Would have been
Bells.
a right place, right time type of steal. Nothing she really anticipated, but got her hand out there, almost grabbed that one.
Yeah, that could have been a push in the back by Reardon.
Yeah, big,
got Coach Hoffman all over the officials right now.
Big body there. He's nearly to half court, and I think he could get a little warning here the next time down if he doesn't get himself back in that coaching box. They might look at that one, and they're going to call that a shot clock violation. It didn't hit the rim. I thought they would have went to that if it did hit the rim. It looked like it could have been in her hand as those lights went on. Nonetheless, it'll be a shot clock violation. Here comes Ryan Rohrer. She'll replace Ashley Reardon.
I see a number of former Kelvin women's basketball players in the house here. I see the former Wendy Zichterman, who played in the late 2000s. Andrea McDonald, who played in the early 2000s. Those are their maiden names.
Yeah.
Andrea just walked in out of Allendale. Boy, she was a great shot blocker.
Well, it was at the end of practice yesterday when Coach Christner was kind of telling his team that they would have a heavy alumni presence here in the stands. Obviously, Coach Emily Ottenhoff, a program alumni. She's our game administrator tonight, our head women's soccer coach, who also loves the acai bowls from Playa Bowls. Let me tell you, that's one program that can't get enough acai. But I think during that little interaction, it was right before that where Aaron Fernandez was in kind of a last-minute situation, last-second situation, and hit a game winner before the girls went off to hit their last make of the day. So one of the things that Coach Christner tries to do within his program.
Turnover by Rohrer, and here comes St. Mary's the other way. Wiggers knocked it out of bounds the other way. It's going to stay with the Bells.
Great hustle play there by Wiegers on the turnover. She knew she had a one-on-one opportunity and was able to get her hand in there on Andre before she was able to get the basket up. Say that one went off from Andre, or Wiegers rather.
Inbounds play, good look, but the layup off the mark. Rohrer got the board, and Hallowell will bring it up court. See quite a few players from the recent like 2022-23 Kelvin teams. See Leah Harris and the former Gabby Timmer amongst several others that are there as well. Here's Fernandez off the screen. Missed it. Hallowell with a board.
Minute to play.
Rohrer on the baseline floats it up and in, and she's having herself a game. She's got 10, 34-16.
She's got 10 and about 7 rebounds as well to go along with her 4 steals on the night.
Under a minute to go, first half. Pass inside. Outlaw got a piece, and it'll be out of bounds.
There's Rohrer again on the defensive action. Hoffman wanted the bump there.
I see the former, I'm name dropping here, the former Jill Thomas, who hit a huge 3 at the buzzer to defeat Hope and win the 2011 MIAA Tournament Championship game right here at Bernard Arena. One of the most iconic shots in Calvin Women's Hoops history.
About 8 seconds difference between the shot clock and game clock. Looking like we're going to try to go till the end of that shot clock to get one shot opportunity.
LaRue takes it to the basket, a little off the mark, and never hit the rim. So the shot clock goes off. Yeah, St. Mary's is ready to go to the locker room, but we still got 6.7 on the game clock. So we're going to bring Lily Nitz back on. And also into the game for the first time is Lindsay Minderhood out of Covenant Christian. So a little full court pressure here by the Knights, trying to eat up the time. 6 seconds and 5. Up the floor comes St. Mary's. Top of the key, a long three, and off the mark there by Ella Notaro. So at halftime, Calvin leads it 34-16. Hey, Bergsma Plumbing is your #1 West Michigan choice when it comes to plumbing. Bergsma Plumbing is a family-owned and run business that values relationships with clients. Through their competitive prices, they help you stay within budget for your next plumbing project or repair. Bergsma Plumbing helps you understand the problem and the plan to fix it. They believe that informed clients make the best clients. That's Bergsma Plumbing, available 24/7. Stay tuned for today's halftime show, sponsored by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. And we will get to that. But, hey, we're going to take a little 10-minute break. We got some messages back in the studio, so enjoy those, and we'll be back with some halftime stats and other items.
Here we go!
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
Biggie's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Biggie's.
Join the next generation of global business leaders at Calvin University School of Business, offering 8 undergraduate majors and 2 master's degrees, and exceptional faculty with real-world experience who will partner with you and guide you along the way, and opportunities to participate in internships, study abroad programs, and hands-on learning experiences. This is Calvin University School of Business. Your future begins here.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours. Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
This summer, engage in meaningful music making and learning at No Crest Music Camp. No Crest Music Camp is a week-long summer day camp at Calvin University for musicians entering grades 7 through 12. Here, you'll develop your musical skills through different kinds of learning and performance opportunities, all within a welcoming, inclusive community. Spend a week learning from outstanding music educators in Calvin's state-of-the-art classroom and performance spaces. Interact with peers who are just as passionate about music as you are. Perform in such large ensembles as choir, concert band, jazz band, music theater, and string orchestra. And expand your musical knowledge through your choice of classes, like music in the movies or West African drumming. You'll emerge from your week at camp invigorated and inspired by the knowledge and experiences you've gained. Join us at No Crest Music Camp this summer.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours.
Calvin showed me the importance of a family-like community. I saw this sort of community present in both my academics and in my athletics. On the field, my lacrosse team took Proverbs 27:17 to heart. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Saying Calvin became my home away from home does not do the place justice. The relationships I made in my time here and the spaces I've grown familiar and fond of have truly made Calvin my home. Calvin University, go beyond.
Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
Biggie's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Biggie's.
Are you eager to ask God bold questions? At Calvin University, faith in Jesus Christ is part of our everyday lives. Dive deep into the Word through campus-wide Bible studies where leaders mentor you. Worship daily with friends in chapel, each day with a unique theme. Explore worshiping in other languages and cultures. Own and grow your faith as you learn about God's creation and your purpose in it. This is your invitation to engage, to belong, to grow.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
For as long as I can remember, I had one goal. I wanted to be an Olympic swimmer.
What a finish this is.
By the time I was 12 years old, I was ranked 7th in the entire nation. And for the next 6 years, I basically lived the life of a professional athlete, giving up everything in pursuit of my dream. When I began my college career, my dream began slowly slipping away. I battled sicknesses, injuries, and chronic illnesses I didn't even know I had. When I got cut, I thought my life was over. Everything I had ever worked for, I thought it was for nothing. I had to take time to work on myself and figure out how to take care of not just my physical well-being, but also my mental health. When I entered the transfer portal, I received an email that said, "Here at Calvin, we want to treat you as a whole person, not just an athlete." I knew that was exactly what I was looking for. I've been swimming for almost 2 decades, and it was everything to me. But here I got to discover all that I am. I'm a student, a teammate, a friend. I'm a leader, a coach, a speaker, a writer. I continued my studies at Calvin's Master of Arts in Media and Strategic Communication because I knew I had a story to tell. Communication is power, and Calvin gave me the power to tell my story in a meaningful way and to be the coach I needed. When I think of going beyond, I don't think of medals or records. I think of going beyond expectations, especially your own. Real success isn't just achieving what others expect. It's about rising from what you didn't expect. If life had gone exactly as planned, I wouldn't be the kind of coach I needed when I was younger. But I am, and I'm proud of who I've become. Go beyond what you thought was possible. Go beyond at Calvin University.
Release, relate, rejoice, revival, to live for God.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
All right, well, welcome into today's Inside Halftime Show, sponsored by, beautifully built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Whether your next project is an urban renewal in the city or a model of the family lake house or a new country estate, the Insignia Homes and True Kitchens team is ready to bring your vision to life. And fans, as part of that, it's time for today's Halftime Stats, brought to you by Advantage Commercial Real Estate, your experienced commercial real estate advisors in West Michigan. So, Jason, what do we got there for the stats?
Yeah, I think Calvin is shooting 37% from the field on 14 of 37, whereas St. Mary's shooting just 22% from the field on just 5 of 22 shooting. And I think the most glaring stat line and number in that is just the difference in shots. You know, to get that many more shots than your opponent, the amount of offensive rebounds that our team has. I think Ryan Rohr has 9 boards, 3 of them on the offensive side, to go along with her 10 points. 3 boards out of Anna Fernandez. She has 10 points as well. Caitlin LaRue with 5, and Gabby Hollowell off the bench with 5 points for your Knights. And then on the other side of things, Ella Andre with 6 points, leading scorer, along with Liv Fry. I think Ella gave them that spark off the bench that they needed at the time. There was a point where they kind of started to climb back in. I think they had cut it to 13, did the Bells, and that was Ella was a big part of that with her 2 3-pointers to give the Bells a little bit of momentum there. But the Knights in the latter half of the second quarter continued to smother them with their defense, closing those gaps, you know, beating the press down the court. And I think in the second half, we'd like to see what the Bells are going to do defensively if they do decide to make any changes, whether they take that pressure off, they go to a zone look and say, look, you guys are going to have to light it up from 3 because we're not letting you get inside. Something that the Knights have struggled to do, scoring from inside tonight. Not terrible, but I think just some missed opportunities where they could have a more comfortable lead. So not sure what Coach Christner's going through at halftime, but I think he's just kind of going to keep the focus on this game, this opponent, one play at a time, one possession at a time, play together, play for each other, and we'll like to see how they come out here.
Well, you were just talking about the 3-point shooting, so it's time now for Let It Fly. Look at today's 3-point shooting stats. Arriving from the Grand Rapids Gerald R. Ford International Airport for Calvin, The Knights are 4 of 13 for 30.8% clip. And for St. Mary's, they are 2 of 7 from beyond the long line. That is 28.6%. That's Let It Fly from Gerald R. Ford International Airport, where endless adventure begins in your backyard. Flying nonstop from Grand Rapids to over 35 major cities in the United States. And that will conclude today's halftime show, brought to you by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Whether your next project is an urban renewal in the city, a remodel of the family lake house, or a new country estate, their teams at Insignia Homes and True Kitchens is ready to bring your vision to life. Other halftime score on the women's side in the MIAA, Trine leads Elma 31-16. That actually would help the Knights out a little bit. Calvin could get the win today, and Elma were to lose. Calvin would be a full 2 games in front of Elma in the women's basketball standings when it comes to 4th place and 5th place. And of course, 4th place would get you a first round home game in the MIAA tournament against the number 5 seed. So if it would be the way we have it right now, it'd be Calvin hosting Elma in a first round MIAA tournament game. All right, ready to start the second half. Knights had the possession arrow, so Caitlin LaRue will have it far side of the court. Knights leading this one 34-16.
LaRue over to Wiegers.
A little backdoor feed to Fernandez, goes up, lays it in, and got fouled. Let's see who that's on. Might be on Passanaw. No. That'll be on...
That's on Annie Restovich.
Annie Restovich. Speaking of Passanaw, I had a nice chat with her father, Jim, Dr. Jim Passanaw, a Little League teammate of mine for many years here in the southeast side of Grand Rapids. So I had a good time catching up, name dropping, all that kind of thing.
Passanaw, a product of Grand Rapids Catholic Central High School.
Well, Dr. Jim was starting quarterback on the 1987 Catholic Central State Championship, Class B State Championship team for the Cougars. Jim Gelvin was the head coach. I think that was the 2nd state title for Catholic Central in football, if I remember correctly.
Restovich to Restovich for 3.
Oh, and there's the 3rd triple of the game here for St. Mary's, so starting to heat up. Annie Restovich there on that one makes it 37-19. Sometimes with those 1 o'clock start times, when you have to go on the road, it's just hard to get warmed up and get into your rhythm. It seemed like that happened to St. Mary's early in this contest.
Yeah, and playing here at Van Nord Arena is a little bit different look than most venues in the MIAA. A 5,000-seat arena here, the biggest in all of Division III athletics as an on-campus venue.
More spacious and got different sight lines as far as shooting is concerned. LaRue missed that last 3 and a team defensive board to the Bells, so they'll walk it up the floor.
And all the more reason for the Knights to secure that number 4 spot or even advance to a little bit higher seed in that MIAA tournament setting.
Yeah, Albion would be sitting in the 3 spot right now, so the Knights trying to chase the Brits down. Now they've already played Albion twice, split the 2 games. Passanaw will not get off a shot clock violation, and the Knights will take over the ball. 37-19.
More full court pressure here from the Bells.
And Fernandez will retrieve.
And the Bells will retreat as it's just on the inbound type of a pressure.
Fernandez doing a little pick and roll with Lydia Saul and then got bumped near the top.
That'll be Fry. That's her 3rd.
2nd team foul of the quarter. So Knights will trigger sideline there. And Wiggers has it. 37-19, Kelvin in the lead.
Wiegers now in a pick and roll with Rohr, finds her at the 15-foot mark.
Well, Rohr has been feeling it. Lefty off the glass. No, lost that one a little bit on the way up. And St. Mary's the board. Here they come the other way. They're trying to, St. Mary's, get some transition looks
trying to match the pace of the Knights and see if they can take control.
It's going to be a block by Lydia Saul. And 2 offensive boards, no for Passanant, and the Knights finally come up with it and then nearly lose it. Rohrer will leave it back to Wiegers.
Couple of good looks there for Passanant, just couldn't finish at the rim.
Wiegers, little no look, goes to the basket, missed the layup. Rohrer, another offensive board.
No look out to
Fernandez to the top, no. And another offensive board to Ryan Rohrer.
It's got to be a double-double for her already.
And LaRue takes it to the basket and puts it off the window and in. 20-point Calvin advantage.
A little up and over jump stop there by LaRue. Great footwork out of her.
All the way to the hole and a layup up and in and a foul. Ella Notaro, I think that might be Lydia Saul, it is. And I think that's her third. It is. We've got 4 substitutions in for the Bells. Ashley Reardon coming on for Lydia Saul. At the line is Notaro, and then after that you've got Hannah Outlaw in, Nicole Connolly in. Trying to see who the other 2 players are. I think you've got Ella Andre on and one other Bell that came on. Free throw up and in, so the old-fashioned three-point play. Looks like Gabby Webb is on, a freshman out of Geneva, Illinois.
7 points for Ella Notaro for the Bells. She becomes their leading scorer on the night.
Wiegers breaks the press, gets it over to Rohrer, right-hander, no. Got contested in the paint by Outlaw, and St. Mary's comes up with the board, and here they are into the front court. 39-22, 6:50 left, third quarter. Outlaw trying to get to the basket, cut off by Rohrer. 15 on the shot clock, gonna have a push from behind by Reardon, who bumped Connolly from behind. I think that's the second on Reardon. Well, beg your pardon, that's her third. So a couple of Calvin Post players in some foul trouble here.
Aggressive play this evening out of Reardon on the defensive end.
Yeah.
I think she's being awfully physical.
Knight's gonna go a little smaller here. Lily Nitz into the game. Inbound play to St. Mary's. 17-point Calvin lead. Outlaw on the dribble, cut off by Nitz. Trying to get to the basket is Connolly, now cut off in the corner and stolen away by Ryan Rohrer, who is stacking the stat sheet here.
Rohrer just took it away from her.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of
a little too loose, and it was there for the taking, and Rohrer said, thank you very much.
I'll take my 5th steal of the night.
3 from the corner, Chloe Wiegers. Chloe canning it, and it's 42-22.
Good ball movement around the perimeter there. That last time down by the Knights, Caitlin LaRue.
And we're going to have a steal by Fernandez. 1-on-2, goes to the hole, got fouled from behind by Outlaw. That'll be foul number 3 on the Bells here. Fernandez, who has 13 points, will have a chance to add to her team leading tally. Let's see if I can't bring up the stats here for the Knights, the live stats.
13 points for number 13, Fernandez.
Yeah. Makes the first free throw. Second one also good. Ryan Rohrer, 10 points, 5 steals, 7 rebounds. I beg your pardon, 12 rebounds.
Yeah, 7 on the defensive side.
Yeah, and 5 offensive boards. So she's got a double-double. And she's also got 1 block shot.
Yeah, that's a full stat line. I mean,
and we're midway through the third.
Snag 5 more steals, and that's a triple-double with a block or 2 at that point, probably.
And up and in. And speaking of Rohrer, I think she's going to get the foul there as Notaro kind of wrapped around and flipped it up and in. Actually be on LaRue, the foul. So 3-point play opportunity for the Bells. Notaro sitting at 9 points right now. Chance to get to double digits. Flips it up there and missed it. And we're going to have an over-the-back foul on Outlaw. NFL Hall of Fame inductees, I think, are going to be announced later this evening here, Jason. Any thoughts on that whole process? It looks like Bill Belichick will not be part of this class.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that the Super Bowl matchup is one of his Super Bowl victories, and one as a defensive-minded coach that he kind of had a lot to do with in that last play of that game. I'm not sure what Super Bowl that was, but Russell Wilson kind of threw an interception to Malcolm
I think Super Bowl
Butler, right? Malcolm Butler?
60.
Okay.
Or this is Super Bowl 60, but yeah, it was the January of 2015 where they won 28-24. Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson on the 1-yard line when the Seahawks inexplicably decided not to run the ball with Marshawn Lynch and instead went with a pass play, and
that's
Patriots sniffed it out and won the game.
That's when Marshawn Lynch had an unbelievable postseason, carrying that team almost
He did.
all the way into that.
That was
position.
a shocking finish to a Super Bowl.
It was the year that he had that run against the Saints. Was that the same year?
Might be.
Okay.
I just remember Chris Collinsworth on the broadcast saying, "I cannot believe what I just saw, and I'm sorry. Why do you not give the ball to the best running back in the game right now?"
Ryan connects on both free throws there. She's got 12.
Having herself a game, a double-double, 46-24. Kelvin men's hoops will tip off at 3. They're on the road at Albion today. It'll be a tough matchup for the Knights.
Yeah, close matchup the last time here in Van Ord Arena.
Turnover by the Bells, and with it is Wiegers again. Gabby Hallowell is in. She had it for a moment. Now right corner, LaRue. Lydia Saul back into the contest as well, trying to get to the basket. Kicks it to Nitz. Hallowell, open 3. It's good. Second triple of the game for Gabby Hallowell, and she's got 8 points.
Good job by Gabby there, catching it in rhythm, finding her flow, and just releasing that ball. She knew it was in from the second she released it.
Missed shot there by St. Mary's, and the board to LaRue. Breaks the pressure and finds Wiegers. Little crossover dribble. Corner. Lily Nitz going to be deep. Battle for the basketball. LaRue had it for a moment, and then St. Mary's came out of the scrum with it. Quickly into the front court. That was Gabby Webb. And now in the paint, Natoro. Oh, got triple teamed. Little floater, going to be off the back iron. Noah Nitz with the board. Long lead pass to Hallowell.
Good idea there from Nitz.
Well, she's going to pump it up there. Had an open 3 and obviously has the green light.
A lot of green lights out there on the offensive side for the Knights as they continue to pour it on here.
The Let's Fly Away from three-point land, sponsored by
Coach Mark Christner.
Yeah, exactly, and GR Ford International Airport. There's Passanaw 3 from the top. Going to be off the mark and rebounded by Chloe.
Now we're trying to set something up. We got a play called here. Trying to get into an offensive set.
49-24, biggest lead of the game for Kelvin at 25. Hallowell, Lydia Saul. Got her pocket picked and stolen away by Caroline Langworthy.
It's Langworthy's first action of the night.
Fairly young St. Mary's team, a lot of freshmen on this squad. Coach Hoffman trying to build the roster up. Here's Passanaw to the basket and fouled from behind by Lydia Saul, and that'll be her 4. With 2:54 left in the third, and we will get
into our immediate timeout.
Our immediate timeout. So I got to find my sponsorship read here. I think I'm going to set you up here, Jason.
Yeah, why don't we talk about applied innovation here in this month in Calvin Athletics history, which is sponsored by Applied Innovation. Today we're going to highlight the 1988 Calvin's women's basketball team that was led by Coach Don Vroon. The Knights were picked to finish 4th in the MIAA in the preseason, but proceeded to claim the MIAA title with a perfect 12-0 conference record. The Knights later became the first Calvin women's basketball team to advance to the NCAA Division III tournament. They would also become the first program to win 20 games as they finished 21-5 overall. And that's this month in Calvin Athletics history, presented to you by Applied Innovation. And that brings me to my next question. Jeff, what were you doing at that time in 1988? Were you a student? Were you an SID?
I was a senior in high school.
Okay, so you were not involved in that?
No, although I grew up 7 blocks from campus, so I I make my way down here quite frequently to the old Calvin Fieldhouse to watch basketball. So
rest assured, we can probably know that you were in the stands for one of those games.
Well, and the MIAA MVP, who was from Calvin University that year, is actually my wife, the former Julie Post. So
there you go.
I know quite a bit about that 88 team, and have met many of the alumni members of that team.
I wonder if any of those are the alumni members here in the seats tonight.
Yeah, I'll be honest, there might be one or two of them, but I don't see any right offhand.
I see Sophie Sensenig, some younger alumni.
It's mostly 21st century Calvin women's basketball alum that I see out there.
Allie Mays.
Although I do see on the, we got Sharon Decline here, who was, of course, she graduated in 84, and she is working our table here. Tremendous softball player, a league MVP in women's hoops herself. So she'd be one from the 80s.
Phenomenal shot clock operator as well.
She is.
Great support staff we here have at the table here at Calvin.
She makes both free throws, does passing all, so 49 to 26.
DeKuyper back into the game for the Knights. Along with Whitty, Nitz, Fernandez.
Got a little loose of the ball, and I think stepped on the sideline. It'd be a turnover.
Good work, Lo.
49-26. Calvin leads here with 2:30 to go in the second half, or in the third period, rather.
Got Emma Whitty back on, and she is defending the ball handler. At least she was a moment ago. Ball swinging around the horn. Pass into the paint.
Knights matched up defensively yet.
Backdoor feed trying to get there is Ella Andre, and could not, and it'll be a turnover by the Bells. Kennedy Schrock is on, another young freshman. She's out of South Bend, Indiana, right around the corner from St. Mary's. Went to St. Joseph High School. So she's on for the first time today. 23-point Calvin advantage. Sammy DeKuyper has the basketball here at Vennord Arena. Final day of January.
It's a long January, Jeff.
It is, it is.
A lot of snow on the ground out there.
Yeah, it has been a bit of a slog driving the roads here in West Michigan. We kind of get used to it, but this week, probably the most testing driving situations I've had all winter long.
And we are ever so hopeful that we can get those fields cleared for
Well, yeah, we've got lacrosse games scheduled in 2 weeks' time.
I think February 14th is
a men's lacrosse game.
Lacrosse home opener.
And women's lacrosse on the 21st, and then men's lacrosse back here again on the 28th of February. So you got the turf over there at Calvin Soccer Stadium, but you do have to get the snow off.
And believe it or not, fans, they have been outside for a couple practices this season. Not every day, but they've made it out there a few times.
Fernandez made both free throws. She's got 17 points.
Leads all scorers on the night.
There's a nice cut by Passanal. She laid it up and in on the feed. I believe from Gabby Webb. I got blocked off by Coach Hoffman, who's just to our left there, so I couldn't quite see who made that pass, but it was a nice cut and basket.
Credit to the Bells for continuing to press on offensively.
We're going to have a hand check call here on Langworthy. That is foul number 5, so that'll send Whitty to the line for a 2-shot situation.
You know, not much going on offensively for them down at this end, but their players continue to fight, continue to press forward, continue to try to get to the rim. You know, you can see that the effort is there. It's just the Knights have been one step ahead, you know, a little bit out in front of them a little bit.
Whitty makes the second free throw. 53-28. A fresh, is that 5?
Fresh line change
fresh 5
for the Bells.
St. Mary's, I know.
Naturo's in, Fry is in.
Outlaw. Lib Fry, just mentioned her.
Kate Restovich.
And Annie Restovich, so there you have it. Late stages of this third quarter, Knights up 25 points, and An offensive foul on St. Mary's. Legal screen, I believe.
It's going to be on Fry. That'll be her 4th. So one more foul to give for Fry. And Coach is going to get one right here. It's been warned.
Yeah, Coach Hoffman getting a warning right here in front.
And he's not going to give it up. He's going to get one. And
the Kuiper going to hand off to Fernandez there as we had the interesting show in front of us. Yeah. Fernandez pulls up. Jumper going to be a little short, and a rebound to the Bells, and Toro with the board. Under a minute to go here, third quarter.
We'll say as a player, though, you know, you want to have your coach fighting for you.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that feels good out there for this team trying to claw their way back into this one.
3 from the wing. No. Whitty with the board. Kelvin quickly in transition. Nitz.
Took too many there.
Yeah, Whitty might have gotten away with a travel. And Fernandez lays it in off the feed from Nitz. She's got 19 points. I think Whitty took an extra step there. She got mixed up with trying to find the feed and got away with it. And now a foul. Outlaw hit from behind. I think Nitz will... No, Rohrer will get the foul.
Outlaw will head to the line for 2.
Chloe Wiegers into the game for Sammy DeKuyper. Free throw up and in for Outlaw. Out of Jones, Michigan. I think that is southern part of Michigan, but I have to tell you, Jason, I am not sure where Jones, Michigan actually is.
I am jonesing to know. 10 to go here in this first third period.
I know most little hamlets and towns and cities in this great state, but I have heard of Jones, but I can't tell you where it's from. I'm going to have to look that up. A 3 from the wing. No, at the end of 3, Kelvin leading at 55-30. Hey, Jason, we've got our Kelvin Women's Sports Report. I'm going to turn it over to you while I look up where Jones, Michigan is from.
Absolutely. That Kelvin's Women's Sports Report is presented to you today by Lake Michigan Credit Union. Last month at the Grand Valley State University Holiday Open, graduate student Sydney Ragadan set the school record times in the 60-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. Her time of 7.61 in the 60-meter dash currently ranks 8th in all of Division III athletics, while her time of 24.13 in the 200-meter dash ranks 2nd in Division III women's track and field. And that's today's Calvin Women's Sports Report, brought to you by Lake Michigan Credit Union.
Today's broadcast is also brought to you by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, providing personal financial strategies tailored to your goals and lifestyles. Also, time now for Know Your Nights, presented by Family Fair, with locations near you, including Caledonia, where Ashley Reardon is from. That's her hometown.
As well as Lily Nitz.
And Lily Nitz. So those two players out of Caledonia, where you can, and they're both out of South Christian High School, you can find a Family Fair down there. Out of Family Fair out of Caledonia, and that's Know Your Nights, presented by Family Fair.
Caledonia area has been pretty good to our women's basketball program. I feel that like we've had a lot of players come through this program from the Caledonia area. Dr. Timmer's daughters being a few of them.
St. Mary's with the basketball, 55-30.
Foul's on Nitz. That'll be her first, team's first of the fourth quarter here.
Bells with the basketball, that's Natoro. And then Whitty got bumped down. Play continues. A layup and a foul on Whitty as she got a piece of Liv Fry.
That's Whitty's first, her second. She'll be replaced here by Caitlin LaRue checking into the game. 2 shots now for Fry.
All right, so Jones, Michigan is in Cass County in the southwestern part of the state. And is situated near the Indiana border, lies south of Kalamazoo, east of Cassopolis, and has local landmarks such as Bear Lake and the Swiss Valley ski and snowboard area.
Okay. You know, if I didn't find out immediately after you were stumped on that one, I knew I'd find out Monday morning in the office.
Curiosity kills the cat, as they say. Here's Fernandez, got her shot blocked by Notaro. You know, I probably got as much journalist in me as anything. I just got that curiosity factor, so now we know. And now everyone else here knows where Jones, Michigan is.
And we'll never forget.
There you go, 55-31. Nice feed to Reardon on the cut to the basket. And speaking of Jones, Michigan, I think the resident there, Hannah Outlaw, is going to get called for the foul.
That'll send Reardon to the line. 2 shots for her. Reardon's been in foul trouble throughout this game. I think she got away with a push earlier. I think she's got 3 fouls on the receiving end of this one, though.
Well, we're going to have that Visser Brothers teamwork play of the game, so we have to keep that one in mind, Jason. So got to come up with something along those lines as second free throw goes down for Reardon. We're going to need the Bauman Integro Energy Efficient player of the game, Energizing the Knights player of the game, and the defensive player of the game.
I think the defensive player of the game, we may be able to give that one to Roar with the amount of steals she's had, the defensive rebounds, just her overall effort on the defensive
I would agree.
side.
3 from the wing, off the mark by LaRue. Here is St. Mary's, and playing free safety is Chloe Wiegers, and she makes the steal. Speaking of defense, nice feed, cutting to the basket, and Fernandez puts it up and in. She's got 21.
From free safety to quarterback, Chloe Wiegers there on the offensive end.
You love to see it.
Knights are rolling here in the second half.
I think if we had, flag football, not to add to any of our work totals, but just became a approved Division III women's sports, I think Chloe would be an excellent quarterback for the Knights.
Absolutely.
And flag football. Sees the field, sees the floor. It's got kind of a tough-minded makeup there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how that sport grows in popularity and how it affects the college athletics landscape a little bit.
It's a spring sport, I believe. Kind of late winter into the spring. I can tell you from coaching flag with my youngest son for a number of years, it's a lot of fun.
We got Lily Nitz on 3 seconds here.
Got a little lax there on knowing where her foot was. Yeah, you wonder if how many new athletes it might bring in, or if it takes away from other sports. As far as athletes choosing not to do this sport or that sport in order to play flag football. But that's part of the landscape and how athletic departments decide to build their portfolio. And St. Mary's, that's Notaro backing her way down, gets fouled, puts it in. I think this is her potential 3rd old-fashioned 3-point play opportunity of the game.
Yeah, Notora's had herself a great second half here into double figures.
Got 9 right now.
11, that was her 11th basket. Yep.
Yeah, I thought she was at 9.
Yeah, I think they're a little late getting that on the scoreboard here. Sometimes we do reach up and peek at the in-stadium scoreboard versus finding that stats online.
Well, she misses the free throw right there. I'm going to tell you that steal and then feed by Chloe to Anna Fernandez. I'm going to give that as the Visser Brothers teamwork play of the game.
I think that's a great selection there, Jeff.
Ball into the corner. Knight's going to run a little shot clock here. It's 7:40 left on the clock, 15 on the shot clock. LaRue, left wing. Now Reardon, top of the key. Hallowell going to drive, right baseline. LaRue's going to have to put it up here. Jump stop, no, lost it, and I think we're going to have a shot clock violation. Saul got the shot up, but not until the horn had sounded, so the Bells will get it back. 26-point Calvin advantage, 59-33. With the basketball is Gabby Webb, freshman out of Geneva, Illinois.
I think offensively for the Knights on the other end, we might see more of those long, drawn-out possessions. I think Coach Christner is going to continue to try to control the pace of this game, just slow that pace down once they get it over half court.
Connolly missed that three. Knights get the board and into the front court. And you are right, Jason. They are going to more of a deliberate pace here, just running some clock after pushing the pace quite a bit early. Cutting to the basket. Oh, that's going to be a little deep over the head. And Wiggers ended up retrieving that right near midcourt and then threw it off the defender out of bounds. So a heady play.
That is whatever hustle play award we have tonight. So let's give that one away right now.
That's the energizing the Knights player of the game.
Absolutely.
Chloe Wiegers. So we're going to have a...
and she got held there. Wiegers got held. Unbelievable. He got it going the other way.
Yeah, Wiggers actually was, they said that pass was over her head and she got called for offensive pass interference, if you will. We're using all sorts of football metaphors here. So it'll be a turnover by the Knights. A three right in front of us, going to be short. That was Kate Restovich, and Reardon got the board.
No, as an energizing player, though, Wiegers has been all over the court tonight, you know, getting her hand in on closing the gap on passing lanes, you know, on a driving offensive player, helping her teammates out. And that was Hallowell in the corner.
Yeah, another turnover.
Chin.
59-33 now. Calvin leads this one. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
It's Gabby Webb, and just too loose with the basketball. Just kind of held it up, and Hallowell poked it free. Crossover dribble, almost lost it herself.
Hallowell gets it poked away now.
Ball security has not been super high by either team in this game. Certainly not by St. Mary's, though. Saul, a right elbow jumper short. It was online. Just didn't have the distance, and Outlaw got the board. Coming the other way is Kate Restovich. Gets it back. 5.5 to go. 26-point advantage for Calvin at 59-33. Another three by St. Mary's from the top. No, by Connolly, and here comes Calvin. That was Wiegers again. I think she got the board. She's starting to rack up some stats.
Our guards have rebounded offensively and defensively well today. There's Wiegers.
Goes all the way to the hoop and laid it up and in. St. Mary's kind of opened up the lane, and Chloe took advantage of it, 61-33.
But that's a big credit to our post play, our post players, Reardon, Saul, getting bodies on their players as well to allow for our guards to get to those boards. Here's Reardon now.
A lot of three-point shots here down the stretch by St. Mary's. Knights inviting them to shoot it, and Saul with a layup up and in off the feed from Chloe Wiggers. Saul was fouled.
Count the basket.
With 4:41 to go, so I think we're going to get our last media timeout. And I think I've got one more sponsored read to get in. Kelvin, well, today's broadcast brought to you in part by Holland Home. Since 1892, Holland Home has been providing vibrant independent living, compassionate assisted living, excellent skilled nursing, and person-centered dementia care. Holland Home is proud to offer 3 unique communities designed to help older adults live fully and vibrantly, whether at Bretton Woods, Raybrook, or their newest community coming soon, the Aberdeen and Ada. You'll find welcoming spaces, thoughtful amenities, and opportunities to nurture friendships old and new. Also, Calvin University Athletics offers summer sports camps and 15 different sports for kids in elementary school through high school. Visit calvinknights.com for a complete list of camps. Calvin Summer Sports Camps are sponsored by Power Strength Training Systems, with 6 locations throughout West Michigan, with specialized training programs for high school and college athletes, plus customized training for adults over 40. Power Strength Training Systems is West Michigan's comprehensive athletic training center. Check them out today at powerstrengthpro.com. There's also one that comes into play. I got to find it here. I believe this is the Pietro's sponsor for these Saturday games, Jason. Men's and women's basketball game, and it's coming into play if the margin of victory is greater than 15 points. Pietros provides a promotion of that percentage of the final margin of victory off any pasta dishes based on Calvin's, again, margin of victory. So right now,
we're talking 30% off.
30% off, a discount on Pietros pasta dishes through tomorrow night.
So if you're listening, I think you're a Calvin basketball fan if Pietros Pizza is in the cards for this week or this weekend, because that promotion,
that's a nice discount.
Absolutely.
So we'll check what the final margin of victory is, but Pietros, also an establishment not far from Calvin. It's at Birchcrest near Breton and 28th Street, where hand-tossed pizzas are prepared with the freshest made from scratch ingredients. And Saul made that free throw, so now up to a 31% discount.
Let's go. We'll bring this box score on my way home. Feed the family. Kids watching at home today. Hi, kids.
Into the game here. Got another newcomer in for the Knights. Get to that here in a minute.
Nyhoff.
Yeah, Adeline Nyhoff. Out of Holland Christian, I believe.
Another freshman for the Knights. Strong freshman class for Calvin.
Yeah.
Fouls on number 13, Fernandez.
And that'll be the 5th foul on Calvin here in the quarter, so the Bells will go to the line for a pair.
Bells shooting 10 of 14 from the line. Calvin 13 of 13, 100% from the stripe this evening.
Minderhoud back into the game. First free throw is off the mark for Fry. Second one up there, no. And Lydia Saul got the board and a foul on the Bells.
Going to be on 30.
Outlaw. I think it was Outlaw, right?
No,
you're right. You're right. It was on Kennedy Schrock.
Well,
that's a 4th on St. Mary's, so not a shooting situation yet. DeKuyper with the board. Anna Fernandez got 21 in this game. And ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Knights with 4 minutes left.
Here
coming back on is Nitz.
Lily Nitz checking in. Anna Saul, Lydia Saul, excuse me, will take a seat.
$31-point Calvin margin. Get you 31% off your bill right now at Pietros. Knights would like to add to this total. Might be tempted to head over there afterward.
Might be team dinner night for the Knights.
That's right. That's right.
On
Sammy
us.
DeKuyper on the way.
Sharon DeKline's going.
There you go. Was off the mark. And we're going to have a foul in the night. So now St. Mary's will come back the other way, and the Bells will shoot. And Passanal will get 2 free throws.
Corey Dews checking into the game for St. Mary's.
She'd be coming in for the shooter. So
okay, she got held up there. Whitty checks in for Calvin.
Passanal at Grand Rapids Catholic Central makes the first free throw.
3:42 left in this one.
Second one on the way, missed that one. Battle for the board, Nyhoff, and the arrow says Calvin, so Nyhoff will get the board. I think that was Liv Fry who tied it up a bit. Now here comes
Alyssa Matuza, as long with Corey Dews.
Yeah, they're into the game now.
Passanal takes a seat. Her night might be over.
DeKuyper brings it over the timeline.
Here's
Whitty, yeah. Gonna pump it up there, and it's in there.
From the dean's office.
Her father, John Whitty, part of the student life dean department. He was my my high school pep band student leader, student director, and he was a mean trumpet player. When I say mean, I mean that in a good way. He was really good, and quite a soccer player was John as well. Had a lot of speed, and of course he had a son who was an All-American soccer player.
Turnover here on the inbound.
We're gonna have a foul. Yeah, also
Makara Obande into the game.
Obande into the game.
Lauren Van Sumeren for the Knights.
So everybody getting some playing time here.
Adeline Nyhoff remains on the court. Here's Obande now.
Lost the basketball.
Got absolutely hacked on that one.
And rolling it up and in there was Caroline Langworthy. And knocked out of bounds by the Bells. It'll stay with Calvin. Obande scored over 1,000 points at Hudsonville Unity Christian High School. Got to see her achieve that feat last year.
Outstanding high school career. And here's Van Sumeren now.
Brings the ball into the front court with under 3 to go. Obande picked up her dribble, finds Nitz. Now Van Sumeren. And a near steal by the Bells. Minderhout going to take it to the hoop, off the window and in.
But he stayed with that one by Minderhound, had the ball deflected.
We're going to have a foul on Van Sumeren, so that'll send St. Mary's to the line. Matuza was out of Troy, Michigan, Detroit area, and she'll be at the line for 2. First free throw off the mark with 2:18 to go.
Bonus situation here for both teams, so next foul on each end is going to be...
That's going to be short.
Shooting
and
free throws.
Minderhout with the board up to Obande.
Obande and Nitz now getting into a little pick and roll situation.
We have a foul on St. Mary's, so the Knights at the line now to shoot 2. It's where you get a chance to up your own score line here. Don't always get a chance to play a whole lot if you're somebody like Minderhout.
Chance to add to that percentage off at Pietros.
33% right now. Ooh, free throw around and out. Second one is up there and in there. 70-36. Caitlin Tolentino in the Chicago area. She's going to get some playing time. One of the vocal leaders on this Calvin team, typically from the bench. She's getting a chance to play. Provides a lot of energy and spark to this Calvin team.
Not a bad crowd yet here in the fourth quarter, sticking around.
And we're going to have a foul underneath, I think, on Van Sumeren. Had a nice crowd for the volleyball match last night. Good student group.
Mike Gibbons said the attendance was right around 800.
Yeah. They got a nice team this year. Came up a little short last night, Coach Segraves, but his volleyball team, they're a fun team to watch.
Off to a hot start.
Yep.
Coach Aaron Segraves started off 3-0. First defeat last night at the hands of University of Concordia, Chicago. But they'll open up conference play here at home next Friday against
that'll be a big one.
Adrian. Yeah. That'll be a true test to see where they
I don't think that's a team that Calvin has beaten yet. They played Adrian a couple of times now in conference play.
Yeah,
third year of varsity. Ooh.
Adrian's had the program a little bit longer. Calvin.
Obande to the hole. She made a good catch on that feed from Van Sumeren. But yeah, you're right. Men's volleyball making some good progression, and that'll be a big one Friday night here at Menard Arena. So Obande at the line. Makes it. 71-37. Second one on the way, and it's in. 72-37. That is a 35-point margin here. 35% off your bill at Pietros right now.
Knights trying to close this one out here. A minute to go. Just over a minute to go in the fourth quarter.
And Gabby Webb hands it off. Actually got fouled before she did, so she'll be at the line. And
fouls on Caitlin Tolentino. That's her first.
Yep, with a minute 14 to go.
Into the bonus are the Bells.
Getting down down near the wire there at Trine. The Thunder are leading Alma's, the women's side, 66-31. So Trine will stay undefeated in the MIAA, and Alma will fall 2 games behind Calvin in the league standings. Both free throws were good. 72-39. And Obande with the basketball, right side.
Minderhound now.
Tolentino will pull up, jumper, in and out. Van Sumeren going for the board. Obande has it. A scrum in the lane. And St. Mary's will come up with it. Langworthy has it, and a steal right back the other way. Tolentino. To Minderhout, gonna chuck up a 3 off the back iron and rebounded by the Bells. Gabby Webb. Final 35 seconds of this one.
Langworthy working on Tolentino.
About a 13-second differential between shot clock and game clock, so the Bells will have to get up a shot. Going to the basket, and it's up and in by Gabby Webb. 72-41.
And
Knights can just run out the clock.
No shot needed here for the Knights. I don't think they'll shoot one unless...
Well, Obande puts it up, missed it. Van Sumeren has it. Let's see what she does. Goes up, put it off the window, no, and we're going to have a foul with 1.4 left. So she will go to the line with a chance to head to this final Pietro's percentage. And makes the first free throw. So up to a 32-point margin. And it's up there and in there. So that'll be our final score, our fast signs. Final score, Calvin 74, St. Mary's 31 with Calvin's 31-point victory, or 74-41-point victory. Fans receive Pietro's restaurant promotion of 33% off any pasta dishes through this Sunday night. Enjoy your meal at Pietro's on Birchcrest near Breton and 28th Street, where hand-tossed pizzas are prepared with the freshest made from scratch ingredients. Hey, welcome to the post-game show presented by Big E's Sports Grill. Big E's is your best spot to watch all this week's games on the East Beltline, just south of Calvin's campus. And don't forget, Big E's is the live home to Inside Basketball starting this Monday night on February 3. All right, let's go through our post-game awards. We talked about the defensive player of the game. The Visser brothers teamwork of the game. That was that play by Chloe Wiegers, who had the steal and then the feed to Fernandez. So Visser brothers teamwork of the game presented by Visser brothers General Contractors, or a team of dedicated project professionals, knows how to maintain your construction process on schedule and on budget. All right, so we said defensive player of the game, Jason. Did we say Ryan Rohr?
I think she started off hot. I think 5 steals on the night, 7 defensive rebounds, just kind of all over the place, getting a hand in here. Stealing her defender, allowing those guards to have high rebounding numbers as well, along with the other bigs, the other post players for the Knights. But yeah, Ryan Rohr had a great game defensively, and I think she's deserving of that award.
All right. So the defensive player of the game brought to you by Straight Line Fence. With over 30 years of building sanctuary and security, Straight Line Fence provides property owners with the privacy, comfort, and confidence of the perfect fence. Ryan Rohr, defensive player of the game. Let's see. I think we have to have the Energizing the Knights player of the game by Pliables. Who do we go there?
I think we went with Chloe Wiegers.
Okay, so Chloe will get that one.
She had a few situations where she's, diving out of bounds, saving a ball,
yep.
Obviously playing free safety and turning that into transition. I think her energy offensively and defensively have kind of led to the outcome that we had tonight.
So that's brought to you by Pliables, located at Knapp's Corner in Grand Rapids, using the freshest, highest quality ingredients. Pliables serves healthy, delicious acai, pitaya, coconut bowls, and smoothies, your morning booster, and your lunch break dream. Pliables at Knapp's Corner. And let's see, I think there's one other post-game award, and I got to go through all of my reads here. Energizing the Knights player of the game. Energy efficient player of the game brought to you by Bauman and DeGroat. So who do we go with there?
I'm going to go with Let's see. I'm looking at the efficiency numbers, and I almost have to give Chloe Wiegers that nod again.
All right, I like that.
She's 3 for 4, or we could say the Knights as a team from the free throw line.
All right, well, let's do a co-award there. So
Yeah.
Calvin Knights as a team and Chloe are Bauman and DeGroat efficient players of the game.
Perfect from behind the arc
Yeah.
was Chloe, 3 of 4 from the field, and perfect at, well, 0 for 0 from the line. However, the Knights as a team, 19 of 20 from the free throw line. So 95% for the Knights from the stripe. That's a great stat line to have. You know, obviously this one, they had offensive dominance as well as a defensive presence on the other side. But those are the stats that are really going to matter in the close games. And you know Calvin's going to have those coming down the stretch here.
So that's the energy efficient players of the game presented by Bauman and DeGroat, where only the best heating and cooling systems are recommended for you, with no upselling and no pushy sales tactics. So we're joined here by Calvin head coach Mark Christner. And Coach, you can go to Pietro's this weekend for 33% off your bill with that 33-point margin of victory. That's not a bad deal.
That is not a bad deal. We might be doing that tomorrow.
Well, we might be joining you there. I like that. It's good through Sunday night. So
yeah, absolutely.
So what went into this 33-point win today?
Well, I thought our defensive intensity to start the game was excellent. I mean, we have been able to get off to a really nice start defensively here over the last couple weeks. And that, you know, just trying to make them as uncomfortable as possible. I think matchup-wise, they pose a little bit of a challenge because they're a little smaller and their guards are pretty skilled and they're experienced. So, you know, we wanted to close some gaps and get to the arc. You know, they were 3 of 14 from the three-point line, which is something we wanted to try to guard. I thought we did a nice job there. And then, yeah, we were able to find some offense. I think pretty quickly, Ryan and Anna really helped us get established. And we had really good contributions from some folks kind of up and down a little bit, fighting through some foul trouble. So all in all, I thought our consistency was good. You know, we are in a stretch of games where we're just playing. And, you know, I thought, you know, there's some elements of fatigue. You know, players are looking at you. They're a little tired, right, in some of the runs. And we had some longer stretches without whistles here. So we just kind of got to keep plugging along, and we were able to get some people rest down the stretch, which is good.
Well, Trine was a 66-37 winner over Elma, so that puts you up 2 games up on Elma, I think. That gets you to what, to 6-5 in the league, and they go to 4-6.
Yep. Okay.
And you want to be at home for the MIAA tournament at least for a game.
Yeah.
So, you know, looking ahead, you're just trying to stack some wins, aren't you?
We are, and we have gotten into, like, you know, the daily getting better. We've honestly had, I think, 8 now days in a row, and I'm including some off days because that is helpful, where I think we've gotten better. We've gotten better at practice. We've gotten better as a group collectively. Defensively, I think some of the offensive stuff looks better, and that's really what our goal is. You know, February is the March for basketball, right? Division III world. February is it. March is Division I. So we want to be playing our best here, coming down a little bit. And there's no question we've had to adjust a little. And, you know, I think our group is doing a nice job. Rye looks a little bit more consistent. You know, it was good to see Anna have a better shooting week. I know, you know, last week she was bummed about, you know, how she shot it a little bit against Trine and Hope, but it's come back and had 2 really nice games. So it's good to have a 2-0 week. We needed it. And yeah, we just got to kind of work on getting better.
Yeah, I was going to mention, Ryan, you know, you're out a year like she was, you know, with the injury and that type of thing. And you try to get your rhythm back on the court. I know she did some track and field last year, but it's not quite the same. And you could kind of see that rust through the first semester. And now over the last couple of weeks, you're starting to see the old Ryan that we saw during her sophomore year, that bounce and, you know, touch around the basket. It's good to see, isn't it?
It's great to see. And she's done a really nice job of rebounding, you know, and giving us a little bit of an inside presence. She's a very smart basketball player. And, you know, sometimes at her own detriment, she might get into some spots because she thinks, you know, one way and her teammate isn't necessarily on the same page as her. But, And her touch is back, too.
It is.
Some of the shots around the rim. Her free throws shooting has gotten immensely better, and we were great from the line today. So, yeah, I'm pleased with her progress, and we've tried to limit, her minutes to the degree that we're able to. Thanks, Mike. And, yeah, so fresh and healthy, man. That's what we're trying to be, and we fought the health battle a lot, but we're going to continue to try to be fresh and healthy here down the stretch.
A lot of alumni players back here today. Talk about that.
Well, as everybody knows, that is in some ways the lifeblood of your program. I know recruiting is, but then when players have an experience for 4 years that they come back, they bring their kids to. Jilly Thomas had her boys helping with the
hit maybe the biggest shot here in women's hoops history of North Arena.
Yeah, and
we talked about it during the game.
It is fun, and Coach Ross having John around to see those players. It's wonderful. We had Gabby Miller and Timmer and Soph Gensing, Senzenig, Leah Harris, and Sid Viss Cleary come to our shoot around this morning, and they know some of our current players. But it's great to have them around. We are thankful for their support. I know we have a lot of alums who watch, who shoot an email, or who text, Anna or Heather or myself or JR. You're playing for something more than just each other, and it's fun to have some tradition, and we're continuing to try to build that too, and to continue to move forward. So grateful to have alums that support us, that come back, that are around, that want to be informed, that pray for our team. It's all awesome. So, and including your wife.
Yeah, well, I was going to say
and my wife, I suppose, is an alum, although she's more softball. So
yeah, well, she's here at all the games and very invested, and we really appreciate the work that your wife Sarah puts in with this program and help and support it all through. So looking ahead to next week, what do we have coming up?
So we are at Adrian on Wednesday, and then we're at Kalamazoo Saturday. So 2 important games again. And, we just want to...
be tricky places on the road.
Well, yeah, and honestly, we the first, I don't know if round I could say, but the first 4 league games, we were 1-3. And, we have to be better on the road. So these 2 become really important. We'll rest. We'll get ready. Adrian poses some challenges because their 2 post players are quite good, and how they defend is a little funky sometimes. And
they beat you down there last year.
Yeah, they did. But we got to be ready to roll. I like.
But that should get the attention of your returning players for sure.
And they know, and we, our biggest thing is, hey, we got to get kind of emotionally stable. We kind of got to know who's playing, who's in and out, and then you kind of move from there. But and I've liked how we've played this week. And I know sometimes it's like, well, it's Olivet or it's St. Mary's, but Rob coaches them hard. They know what's going on. They're playing really hard. I thought on Wednesday at Olivet, man, we just were really good, and the ball moved, and those things can help build some confidence too. And those games all count the same as when you play Trine at home or Hope at Hope. So we got to kind of keep plugging along. I would say this in my final probably statement, and what I liked most about this week that I think can help for next week. I thought in both games we actually got a little better as the game went on, which I really appreciate of our group. And we, Lily Nitz did a great job today. We had some foul trouble that we had to massage with Ash and Lydia, and we were trying to limit Rye, in terms of minutes. Fortunately LaRue is like a marathon runner, so she can play longer stretches. But I thought, Lily did a really nice job helping us there in a stretch, and that becomes important for next week. And that becomes important as you kind of stack these weeks. And she's getting better, helps our team. So we'll see. We have some work to do. We're not going to be discouraged. We're looking forward to getting into February and getting to be playing our best with this group.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, congrats on the win over St. Mary's. Again, a 33-point margin, so it gets you 33% off your bill through tomorrow night at Pietro's over there in Breton and Birchcrest. So.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, very good. All right, so that was our Fast Science final score. It was Kelvin 74 and St. Mary's 41. Our final stats presented by Advantage Commercial Real Estate. Just quickly going through them. Anna Fernandez led Kelvin with 21 points, 12 points, 13 rebounds, 5 steals, and a block shot for Kelvin's Ryan Rohrer. And then Chloe Wiegers, we talked a lot about her in the post game. 7 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, extremely efficient. 101 from 3-point range, 3 or 4 from the floor. She did a great job. And 8 points as well for Gabby Hallowell, who hit a couple of threes, had 3 rebounds. Going through some of the other scorers here, 5 points for Emma Whitty, 4 points for Ashley Reardon, a couple of points each for Van Sumeren and Obande. And let's see, 3 points for Lydia Saul, who had a couple of block shots in this game. And 7 points for Caitlin LaRue, just talking about her. She had 5 rebounds and 3 assists and gave the Knights 29 minutes, which was key. For St. Mary's, their leading scorer was Nataro, who had 11 points. And then you had 7 points for Fry. Looking at the team stats here, St. Mary's 12 of 59, 30.8%. Kelvin 24 of 66 for 36.4%. The Knights 19 of 20 at the free throw line. That's 95%. You love to see that. St. Mary's 14 of 24, 58.3%. 46 boards for Kelvin, 27 for St. Mary's. And then turnovers quickly. I was going to pull that up. If I could look it up. 18 for Kelvin, 30 for St. Mary's. So that certainly was a factor. And the Knights 7 of 24 from three-point range. It's about a 30% clip. And St. Mary's is 3 of 14 from three-point range. And that's about a 20% clip, not quite 20%. So that will conclude today's final score. That's our post-game show presented by Big East Sports Grill. We'll have Inside Kelvin basketball Monday night over at Big East Sports Grill. Remember the $10 beverage and burger combo. It is a great setup, and I believe it starts at 6:30 p.m. the show. So get there early, get that $10 meal deal, and of course, reminder, Pietro's through tomorrow night, 33% off your final check, courtesy of Calvin Women's Basketball, 74-41 winner over St. Mary's. Thank you to everyone back in the studio for controlling the dials for this broadcast. Did a great job. It was a busy week. A couple of basketball games, a couple of volleyball matches. Appreciate their work as well. And we'll be back again next week. I think Bob Sack will be on the call next Wednesday night when the Calvin Men's Hoops team is at home on Wednesday night. And until then, we'll say so long.